Welcome to the India Development Debate. I'm Tamanna Inamdar. Let's begin with the big story of UK's vaccine policy. Yesterday on the show, we discussed in great detail how the policy is seen as discriminatory because it marked out certain countries where people, even if they've received 2 jabs of the COVID-19 vaccine, would be considered unvaccinated in the UK and would have to undergo a 10-day quarantine. Now, earlier today in the day, the UK revised its policy. And in this new policy, they have moved India from the red to the amber list. They have also included Covishield, which is the Indian-made vaccine, the version of AstraZeneca vaccine. They have included it in the list of vaccines that are acceptable. So far, so good. But if you look further, they have specified that only people who are vaccinated with these X number of vaccines in certain countries will be considered fully vaccinated in the UK, and India does not make it to that list. So effectively, Covishield has been accepted, but Covishield administered in India is not yet accepted. What could the reason be? So a lot of speculation today, sources claiming that the reason could be possibly a question mark on the authenticity of the vaccination certificates that we are issuing. Now, vaccination certificates in India are issued through the Cowin portal. The moment you get jabbed, you get a message on your phone. You can even print out and collect the physical copy as a printout of your vaccine certificate by logging onto the Cowin site. Is there a question mark on this authenticity? Is it because of the number of reports abounding of fake certificate scams? Let's go across to the CEO of the National Health Authority, R.S Sharma, who's also the architect of the Cowin portal, to pose some of these questions. Mr. Sharma, thank you so much for speaking with us right here on the India Development Debate. Now, you told me earlier in the day that the British High Commission has met with your team a couple of times in the last few weeks and talked about the technical aspects of the Cowin portal. Have any concerns about the certification been expressed?
No, let me first tell you the context of these meetings. So we received a mail from the British High Commission sometimes in the month of, in fact, not we, with the Ministry of External Affairs, sometimes in the month of August, wherein they said that they had also participated in the global conclave on Cowin, which took place on 5th of July. And their national health system was interested in knowing more about Cowin. So that was the starting point. And then, of course, the British High Commissioner met me on 2nd of September, and they said that we want to know more about Cowin. So I said, I'll connect my technical team with your technical team and they can exchange views. And they had 2 meetings. One was on 16th of September, wherein the UK side explained their process of vaccination and certification. And on 21st, that is yesterday, we had the second meeting where where our side explained to them our processes. So this was and both sides are absolutely satisfied. There's no question of any, question being raised about the process at any point in time. We have the minutes of the meeting. And yes, today we received a communication from the British High Commissioner that the technical understanding of both sides has been completed and there's no need for any further meeting on the technical issues. That's where the matter stands.
Okay, so what do we make of the revised guidelines that have been put out today, Mr. Sharma? Because they have now allowed Covishield on the list of acceptable vaccines, but India is not on the list of countries which, if you're vaccinated there, you're considered as vaccinated. You'll still have to quarantine for 10 days. The inference seems to be that there is a question mark on the authenticity of the certificates that we issue. What do you have to say about that? Is there a problem with the certificates?
No, that inference is actually the problem, because I don't know whether you can derive inferences like that. There is no statement from the UK side which actually says that they have a concern with the COVID certification process. So therefore, I think this whole issue which is being raised in the media, and I'm hearing that since last couple of hours, that actually has no basis whatsoever, according to me, because I have not seen any statement to that effect. With regard to the other question that they have recognized, not recognized, yes, I have a view, but I will not express that view here because I am here talking to you in the capacity of the chairperson of the expert group on vaccination process, which essentially handles Cowin platform. So I will answer any question related to the platform, but not on other issues, probably because I'm not authorized to.
No, so you are absolutely correct when you say that there is no official statement from the UK government saying they have a problem with India's verification or India's issuing of vaccine certificates. But then logically, what else could the reason be, Mr. Sharma? If there is no problem with Covishield that is made in India, the vaccine is fine, why should there be a problem with the country administering the vaccine? What else could be the reason?
There could be many reasons, but I'm not going to pontificate on that. I'm only saying, how do you say that vaccine certificate is the reason? Do you have any evidence to that effect? Do you have any statement from the UK authority to that effect? If you don't have, then I mean, it's a hypothetical question. It's a inference which you are drawing, which I don't agree with.
All right, let me come to the question then. Okay, let me come to the question then on fake certificates and in the context of what we're talking today. So now there have been several reports of fake certificates. In fact, one survey has claimed that there are 29 countries whose certificates are available for a fee as much as 5,000 rupees, including India. And you can actually get these fake certificates if you wanted one. Is this a concern that you are facing?
Absolutely no concern. Give me a case of a fake certification and I'll give you a response. Because our process is absolutely robust process. People are either registering themselves or going for a walk-in. And when they go for a walk-in, they are given a vaccine and then that vaccine process is recorded on our system and immediately we issue a certificate. So there's no reason. And there's no reason for a person to have a fake certificate because, look, the vaccination is free. It's available everywhere. Why would somebody want to have a fake certificate? I'm not very clear on that. I mean, I don't know the motivation of having such a certificate. It could have been possible if there was a scarcity of, vaccination centers or people were finding it difficult and still they were traveling and they wanted a certificate and that could have been the possibility, but there's no possibility of any type. So this is, and we are showing real time. I mean, our process is as robust as it can be. Tell me one, and we also have a situation where somebody has by mistake entered something, spelling in the name is wrong, or somebody has not been able to attach a passport and he's traveling, he actually did the vaccination using Aadhaar. So we have that process of linking. If somebody gave a wrong mobile number, we have the process of correcting that. So I think all the processes are in place. Our process is as robust as it can be. I don't want to compare or comment on other things. I will comment if I have a formal statement or formal authoritative statement from the government of UK, which says that they had a concern and they have a concern on the digital certification process of COVID.
No, that's fine, but let me press on a bit about the fake certification concern. There are reports of these rackets, these scams. One was reported from Telangana as well, where fake certificates were being issued for something like 2,000 to 5,000 rupees. Is there any attempt on your part to plug loopholes, if any?
Obviously, these are all controlled by state governments, right? So whenever we get the information, we pass it on to the state government to make an inquiry into and take necessary steps. This is a process which is completely handled by the government of each state and union territory. So that's where you should ask those. First of all, you tell the cases. If you tell us the cases, we'll forward it to the state and ask them to inquire into. So that's where the situation happens. Cowin is not. Cowin obviously will inquire into situations if there have been hacking, there have been frauds, there have been other kinds of situations. We are certainly looking into that, but otherwise, all those field level issues are the issues to be tackled by the state government.
All right. So let me now come to the question of how robust the system is. So a lot of people who are traveling abroad are possibly showing immigration authorities around the world a printout of their vaccine certificate, or they're showing them a screenshot of the message they've received on their phone. Is the system robust enough so that an immigration authority anywhere in the world can verify from that screenshot or printout that this is actually authentic?
Oh, that's a very good question. That's a very good question, Tamanna. What is happening is that when we issue a certificate, I mean, you can take a printout, that's okay, but it's a digital artifact. Now, digital artifact means that you can store it on your mobile, you can put it on your digital locker, or wherever you want to put it in a digital form. And once that, and it is actually has a QR code. That QR code is encrypted by our private key. And that QR code can be read and verified using the public key, which actually ensures that the certificate has been issued by the government of India. That's one part. And actually we are having a certificate being issued by the government of India, not even by the state governments or any local authority. So therefore you just have to have the QR code reader for the government of India's application, and you are good to go. So therefore, if the QR code readers, that's the way it actually happens, that any QR code reader, which when it is verifying a certificate from our country, it has to have the public key, which actually is available on our website, which can be downloaded and which can be incorporated in any QR code reader. And you can verify that this is a genuine certificate. So that's how it is. And that's how digital documents are verified.
All right. Thank you so much for joining us today, Mr. R.S. Sharma, refusing to comment on the new tweaked regulations which still ensure that Indians who have received 2 jabs of Covishield will not be considered vaccinated in the UK, even though the actual vaccine Covishield is allowed if it's administered somewhere else. Well, he is not commenting on it because there's no official statement from the government of UK questioning the authenticity of the vaccine certificates, but there is little doubt that in all, this is a discriminatory policy.